the scenarios or the different scenarios based on studies, okay, on how Fi- uh, how Filipinos prepare for sudden yung mga emergencies, okay, such as hospitalizations, accidents. So, and we found out that um, we don't have or we are not prepared for those events. Okay, we're not even prepared for retirement. Okay, so we also discussed the different types of behavior as to managing their finances. So you have the income minus expense equals savings, expense minus income equals debt, and the recommended behavior is income minus savings, expenses. Okay. So in managing finances, we discussed that there are three financial stages in one's life. First is the man at work. Second is the man and money at work. And lastly is the money at work. Okay. So overall, we can say that in managing our finances, we have to prepare the two conditions. First is your goals or your future goals or your future. Second is we also have to prepare for the risk. Okay. So in financial management and investment, um, every investment always has a risk. Okay. Dili gyud na pwede nga walay risk. If an investment has no risk, that is not an investment. Okay. It is called scam. Okay. But even scams are risky also, especially kung masakpan, di ba? So we have seen that in the past. So, however, this risk, we do not just take any risk. Okay? So, kung mo take na any risk without understanding those risks, that's what we call gambling. Okay? So, gambling ang tawag ana. But if you take calculated risk, okay? So, take note calculated risk every time you invest. So, when you say calculated, you know the risk, you understand the risk, okay? And you have done something about it, okay? Before you invest, then uh, that's called investing. That's the proper way of investing. So whether it be financial markets, whether you invest in real estate properties or have your own business, okay? So those investments require risk, okay? But you will only take those risks if you understand those risks or if you have already calculated, okay? So in investing dapat mas dako pa ay imong reward or imong return, okay? Mas dako imong return kaysa sa risk and not the other way around. Okay, so part of taking our personal financial risk is to purchase or to buy an insurance. Okay, so in the Philippines we have several types of insurance. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so first objectives in this discussion. So we will talk about the concept of insurance, the elements of an insurance contract, characteristic, the classes of insurance, what are variable contracts, insurable interest, perfection of the insurance contract, rescission of the insurance contract or cancellation of insurance contract, and lastly is to how to claim or the claim settlement. So first, what is insurance? So insurance is a contract. Okay. So I think you are taking now your BL121. So you will later on you will understand the definition of a contract. Okay. So a contract is a meeting of the minds between the two parties. So insurance is a form of a contract, so represented by a policy. So ang policy nga pasabot diri is does not refer to the kana mga rules and regulations. It refers to the contract, the policy contract. Okay. So it which an individual or entity receives financial protection or reimbursement against losses from an insurance company. So in times of mga losses against, let's say, fire or sudden death or hospitalization, so if you have purchased an insurance, so those insurance company will pay. Okay? So for example, PhilHealth. So PhilHealth is a type of insurance also. So kung magkasakit-sakit, the insurance will subsidize in the payment of the hospitalization cost. So the company pools clients' risk to make payments more affordable to the insured. Okay, so elements of an insurance contract. So like any other contract, so there are three elements, okay, or essential requisites. So consent, you have the object and the cause. Okay, as to consent, so the one who gives consent in entering in this contract are the insurer, so the insurance company. But of course, the insurance company is represented by the agents called mga insurance advisors. So, so you cannot buy an insurance without engaging into an insurance advisor. And insured is the one who purchased the insurance. Okay? The object of the contract or the reason why you enter into the contract is to transfer your possible loss, or you transfer the risk of loss, damage, or liability, and even disability from you, the insured, to the insurer. Okay, so you're actually transferring the risk. Okay, you're taking the risk, but you're actually finding ways how to respond to that by transferring the loss or the possible loss to the insurance company. So for example, of course, kung ma-hospital ta, o simba ko ma-COVID, okay? Of course, you will, and then ma-hospitalize, you will pay a large sum of money, okay? And then if you are not prepared, of course, mangita kag paagi kung asa na nimo kuwaon. Okay? So muna nga magkautang-utang ta, okay? And then it will cause a financial burden to us. But if you have an insurance contract or if you are insured, okay? So kung naamoy PhilHealth or your company gives you a health insurance, okay? So dili ka kayo mabugatan because somebody or some companies will pay for those expenses. So as to the cost or why the insurance company would like to have an insurance contract, it's because of the premium. So the premium is the one being paid by the insured to the insurance company. So usually the premium is around mga 1 to 2% of your insurance coverage. So let's say you have 1 million. So 1% of that is 10,000. Okay. So you are paying actually 10,000 for the possible money that you or the beneficiary will receive. So you're only paying 10,000 for the possible 1 million ya imong dawaton if sudden things happen or some negative events occur. Right? Next, additional element of an insurance contract is what we call insurable interest. So this means that the insured possesses an interest of some kind susceptible of pecuniary estimation. So in the case of, for example, life insurance, ang gina-insured nimo or the asset nga imong gina-insure is your life. Okay? Of course, human lives are assets. Okay? Actually, it's the most important asset, di ba? The life of the employee, okay? Or the life of the person. Okay? So if you buy car insurance, you're actually protecting or the asset nga gi-protect nimo is the car. Or if you have a fire insurance, you're protecting your building. Okay? So that's what we call insurable interest that can be estimated or susceptible for estimation. Okay? So, actually, ang imong bayaran nga premium will depend kung unsa ka ka-risky in terms of health. Okay? So, for example, mas katong younger individuals, okay? So, let's say 20 plus, okay? As long as dili pa 40, so mas gamay ilang bayron kaysa sa katong mga tao nga nag-edad na og 40 plus or 50 plus. Okay? So, as to gender, the lifespan of a woman is longer man daw. That is why if a woman enters into an life insurance contract, mas ubos compared sa lalaki nga magkuha og insurance. And if you have hobbies like mga adventurous nga travel like mountain climbing or skydiving, okay? So if mo na ang imong hobby, you will pay more compared sa katong mga tao nga um, nara sa balay permi. Okay? There's also a difference between those smoking and those for non-smokers. And also, if naa na kay sakit daan, kaysa sa wala gid kay sakit. Okay? So, your premium will depend on your life. Okay? Will depend on how risky is your life. Okay? So, kung mas duol ka sa simbako, kamatayon, mas dako ibong bayaran niya premium because the insurance company are also taking the risk. Okay, di ba? So, there's a possibility nga ang ilang ginadawat sa imo gamay ra, pero ang possible nga ihatag nila sa imo is very large. Okay? Let's say you are only paying 10,000 pero there's a possibility that they will give you 1 million pesos. Okay? So, for them to take a calculated risk, so they will charge higher for those they considered as risky individuals. Okay? So, for example, COVID-19. So, it's actually a risky time for them. Okay? So, especially if a lot of their clients will succumb to COVID-19 or perhaps in times of war. Okay? So, inana mangurog na ng mga insurance companies. Okay? That's the risk that they are taking. Characteristics of an insurance contract. So, an insurance contract is consensual. So, meaning it cannot be executed without having the consent of both parties, the insurer and the insured. Okay? So, it should be with consent of both parties. Voluntary, so it is not compulsory except for PhilHealth, kana mga government, those are mandatory manggod to siya nga mga uh, payments, especially if you are working. But for other companies nga dili government insurer, so it is voluntary. It's up to you whether to take it or not. Okay? Aleatory, so depends upon some contingent event. So there are contracts nga actually there are ang cost nimo or ang consideration is not really tangible. Okay? So for example, kung magpalit ka og loto, ay magpalit ka og ticket sa loto, so what you're actually paying is not the price. Okay? Dili na insured nga magpalit kag lotto ticket, guaranteed na siya nga makuha nimo ang price, di ba? So what you're actually paying is not the price but the chance nga makadaog. Okay? It is the chance. Okay? So ang chance is of course is a contingent event. Okay? Chance is an intangible, dili na nimo makita, pero you're still willing to pay a price for it. Okay? So it's called aleatory. Aleatory na siya nga type of contract. In the case of insurance contract, what is aleatory here is a condition niya, something negative will happen to the person or to the property. Okay? So that's the contingent event niya atong gipasabot diri. So if those things happen, then the insurer is obliged to pay the amount, the large sum of money. Pero kung di na siya may tabo, walay obligation ng insurance contract. Executed, so as to the insured, so the insurance contract is already executed upon the payment of the premium. So kung nakapay na ka and you are continually paying it, so the contract is in force or active. Executory as to the insurer. So remember that the obligation of the insurer is to pay for the large sum of money. Okay? But it can only be executed until the happening of a negative event. Okay? Conditional. So when I talk about negative event, it refers to death. It refers to the destruction of properties. Okay? So depende na siya sa what type of insurance are we talking about. Conditional, it is subject to the conditions, the principal, one of which is the happening of the event. So insured against. So if fire insurance, if na-occur ang fire, then aya pa ma-effect, okay, ang obligation ni insurer. Okay? If walay fire, of course dili siya obliged. Okay? If car insurance, for example, there's an accident, a vehicle accident, nagguba imong sakyanan, so dira pa mo effect ang car insurance. Okay? Dira pa pud ka mabayaran. Okay? And life insurance, you know what, unsay good, unsay may tabo, di ba? Okay? So, personal, each party in the contract have the view in character, credit, and conduct of the other. So, it's personal. It's very personal. So, when you buy a life insurance, the the features are customized. Okay? Dili na siya uniform. Okay? So, for life insurance, you will ask pila imong edad, pila imong gusto nga madawat, okay? Kinsa imong beneficiary, and so on. So it's very personal. In fact, there's an interview before you can have the insurance contract. So in the Philippines, we have six types of insurance or classes of insurance rather. So you have the marine insurance. So it refers to, of course, sa pangalan pa lang, it's marine related yung mga accidents or destruction of properties. And we have fire insurance. So these are for businesses or even households nga if ilang gi-insure ilang balay, ilang gipalitan og fire insurance, and then a fire broke out in their homes or in their stores, then the insurance company is obliged to pay them equivalent to the value of the property na destroy so that magamit tong kwarta para ma-build na pud otro to nga balay or building or store. Casualty insurance, it refers to mga accidents, mishaps not related to fire and marine. Okay? So they're not related to fire and marine. So example, mga vehicle accidents, disability during work. Okay? So these are casualty. Okay? Suretyship, so it's actually more of a guarantor or co-maker. So kung na-loan, okay? So usually mga lending company will ask for a third party nga mo guarantee nga kani ba gyud siya nga tao makabayad ba gyud siya sa iyang utang. Okay? So we call that suretyship. Life insurance, so life is insured, and micro insurance. So it's the cheapest nga insurance, and it is the most affordable. Okay? So marine insurance includes loss or damage to the following. Okay? So vessels, craft, aircraft, vehicles, goods, freights. Okay, so in short, so it has something to do with the shipment. Okay? So magpa-ship ka sa imong cargo, sa imong freight, or na kay i-deliver. So it is insured. So even the passengers in the mga barko, so they are also insured. Okay? So if there is part of what you pay sa imong ticket is an insurance though. So that's a marine insurance. Precious stones, jewels or jewelry. So if something happened, so for example, imong giship ang imong mga precious stones kay ato na nimo sa mga jewelry, ipa-manufacture na nimo. So for example, usually kato mga mining companies, so they will ship their mined nga mga stones, so mga precious metals. So for example nalubog na nilubog ang barko, okay, naibagyo-bagyo tapos nilubog. So katong mga worth sa mga stones, shoulder to siya sa shipping companies. Okay? Because they are insured. So bridges, tunnels, and other instrumentalities of transportation and communication. So use most likely ka na sa mga pier. Okay? So construction of the dock, construction of their equipments, communication. So marine protection indemnity insurance. So it refers to mga accidents occur in the sea. So there's a damage to the property and also the damage to the life of the person. So next type of insurance is the fire insurance. So ang mga fire insurance karon is nagkuan na pud sila, nag-evolve, okay? So sa una fire lang gyud niya, accident ang ilang gina-insured. But nowadays it is now extended to a lot of mga casualties so such as lightning, windstorm, tornado, earthquake and other allied risks. Okay? So you are if this catastrophes will occur, okay? So you are still covered, especially kung naa na siya sa imong signan nga fire insurance policies. So casualty insurance, so diri na mo fall tong mga health insurance. Okay? Or kana bitaw mga insurance nga something happened while you are on duty. So for example, na heart attack while teaching, for example. Okay? And it happened on the premises of the office or the school. Okay? Or perhaps nagtanday-panday ka sa classroom tapos na-accident na itabo. So there's na siya kuan. We term that as employer's liability insurance. Okay? So casualty insurance is an insurance covering loss or liability arising from accident or mishap. Okay? Accident or mishap, including certain types of loss which by law or custom are considered falling exclusively within the scope other than fire or marine. Okay? So as long as it's not related to your fire or marine insurance, then it falls under casualty insurance nga category. So mga motor vehicle liability insurance, so kato mga car insurance, na siya dire. Burglary and theft insurance, so pag i-rob ang sa ka-establishment, pag makawatan, so there's an insurance for that. So personal accident, health insurance such as PhilHealth and other health insurance. So and accident insurance, so na siya na fall under casualty insurance. So usually these are non-life insurance companies. So surety-ship, so mura ka og guarantor or you're actually guaranteeing that this obligor or kaning naay utang mubayad ni siya sa iyang giutangan. So mo na ang kuan. So in case nga sayop ka sa imong pag-guarantee, you will become the secondary obligor. Okay? So ikaw ang mubayad sa utang sa principal obligor. Microinsurance is a financial product or service that meets the risk protection needs of the poor. Okay? So, so for Metro Manila, so these are amount of contributions, premiums, fees, or charges computed on a daily basis. So the insurance premium nga imong bayaran will not exceed sa 7.5% of your daily minimum wage. So if you have 365, so multiply that by 7.5%, that's actually the maximum premium that you can pay for the micro insurance. Okay? Even some, for example, kung matumog Palawan, na sila ginabaligya nga mga insurance. So kana ilang ginabaligya nga insurance is what we term as micro insurance. Okay? So kanang affordable ra nga mga insurance, micro insurance na siya. Mga usually tag 100, okay? 500 ba karon. So barato ra kay na sila. So the maximum sum of guaranteed benefit is not more than 1,000 times of the current daily minimum wage rate for the non-agricultural workers in Metro Manila. Okay, so for example, so if your minimum wage is 365, okay, so the benefit, the maximum sum nimo or sum insured is 365 times 1,000. So you are insured for about 365,000. And then you are only paying 7.5% of your daily minimum wage. Lastly is the life insurance. Okay. So from the word itself, life, so it is insurance on the human lives and insurance appertaining thereto or connected therewith. So the asset that is being insured here is the life of the human person. So although muna siya ang iyang primary reason why we buy life insurance, but actually there are a lot of benefits why we need to buy a life insurance. Okay. So as for primary benefit, so it gives you and your family peace of mind in times of passing or sickness. Okay. So you can also be freed from any worries about the financial situation of your family should you pass on or unable to earn income due to illness. Okay, so here are the many benefits of getting insured. So I know nga, especially when we talk about insurance, life insurance, a lot of Filipinos will shy away from um, considering okay, considering buying insurance. Okay, especially younger people, okay, like us. So nganong mo palit man ko ana nga di pa man ko mamatay. Okay, the question is how sure we are it will not happen. Okay? 'Di ba? That is something that we cannot escape. Okay? It is just a question of when. Okay, so however, what we want to, um, of course, we don't want to die. Okay, but we don't also want to suffer our families, especially if you are the breadwinner. Okay, we don't want our families to suffer when we are not anymore around. So it's not only the your life nga mawala, but also their hope and their dreams also mawala. Okay? We don't want that to happen to them. So even though we are not anymore around, we want them to continue their lives. We want to give them a legacy nga ilang ma-appreciate. Okay? That they can still continue going on with their lives. They can still study. Your children can still continue studying. Okay? Or they can still survive knowing that even at your death, you are still helping them. Okay? Through the life insurance that you give to them. So what are the benefits, other benefits of getting a life insurance? So first, it serves as a pension for the spouse. Okay? So ang mabinlan niya asawa or bana, Okay? Dili kayo siya mabugatan, it's because naay mo tabang sa iya to finance the different expenses of the family. So, is for example, education or mga bayad sa utang. Okay? So, the normal expenses that your family will pay, so mabayaran gyapon siya without working double time. Okay? So, remember, it's also very difficult for the spouse, kay aside from providing for the family, they have to take care of your children. Okay? Your spouse will take care of your children. Okay? And it's not a very, very um, easy situation. Okay? Second, it serves as an education fund for your kids. So the amount that the life insurance company will give to your family will serve as, can be used as an education fund for your kids. So makontinue ra gyapon ilang dreams. Okay, so your kids can still go to school. So for example, they are studying in a private school, so they can still continue studying in a private school, and they can still take the course that they want. Family, so of course it's for the benefit of the family. Okay, so at least we live in this world without having worries. Okay, yeah, you are assured that your family will continue going on with their lives. Okay, because the death of a passing or passing of a loved one is not only an emotional problem, it also a financial problem. Okay, debt payments, so there's already an amount that can be used to pay the obligation. So for example, nagloan mo balay, nagloan mo para sa inyong balay, so that the life insurance can be used to pay the remaining mga debt obligations. End of life healthcare cost. Okay? So end of life. So pasabot ana nga dili pasabot mamatay na ang tao, wala na siya bayro nun sa hospital, di ba? In fact, kada nga mga situation mo na pinakadako og bayranan. Okay? So aside from your PhilHealth, but we cannot di magud ta maka solely depend on PhilHealth. Okay? As we know, there's a situation in the PhilHealth nowadays, and we don't know if the PhilHealth will continue or not. Okay? So the life insurance can help pay for those healthcare costs. Okay? So I know someone, I know a friend niya namatayan siya bana. Okay? And then currently, so many months na patay iyang bana, but still he is paying around 500,000 sa hospital. So gapadayon gyapon siya og bayad. So if there's a life insurance, dili na tana magproblema iyang asawa karon asa mangita og pambayad. So although life insurance dili ikaw ang maka-benefit, pero remember ka ang maka-benefit ana imong loved ones. Okay? They are not just any person. They are your loved ones. Okay? Parehas ra po na ang mga parents ko mag-educate sa ilang anak. Sila ang gabayad sa tuition pero dili sila ang naka-learn ang ilang anak. But why do you pay for the tuition? Why our parents are paying for the tuition? It's because it's for their loved ones. Okay? Same thing that you will buy life insurance not for yourself but for your family. Funeral costs, so aside from hospitalization, napay mga burial cost, mga pagpalit og yuta sa sementeryo, mga gasto sa paglamay, okay? So all of these are financial burden, okay? So if you have life insurance, you can pay for those. You have a money to pay for those costs, okay? Estate tax, so another important benefit of a life insurance. So ang property sa namatay, whether it's a cash in bank, okay? So mga bank accounts niya, um, properties, mga real estate properties, and other assets. So when a person dies, dili na siya dayon-dayon hatag sa heirs or sa beneficiaries. Okay? Because all our assets are being freezed by the BIR. So when say being freezed, no one can claim, no one can benefit or dili na nila maangkon because waagi pa na siya og process. So waagi pa na siya process sa korte pagpamatuod niya walay mag-claim ani nga lain nga tao. Okay? Especially sa mga yuta. Okay? So walay lain tag-iya. So undergo pa na siya sa court, ipakita pa ang if there is a will testament, then ipa-show na siya sa korte, or if there is none, then it must be defended niya sa imo gid na padulong dapat ang properties. Okay? So aside from the court, so especially kung millions na gyud ang properties, so ipa-newspaper pa na nimo. So magbayad na pug ka, and then you will also pay 6% of the estate. So okay ra ta naggamay ra ang estate, so 6% is very manageable. Okay? What if you have 60 million? Okay? So i-multiply daw nag 6% kung pila imong mabayaran. Okay? So for example, in your bank account na kay 60 million pesos. Okay? So di na siya mapahimuslan sa imong beneficiary if they don't have a ready money para to pay those expenses. Okay? So 6% currently is our estate tax. So multiply that by 60 million. So dapat imong beneficiary has a ready money nga at least man lang 3,600,000. Okay? So dapat mobayad sila og 3,600,000 before they can get your properties or they can withdraw your money sa bangko. Okay? 6%. The problem is what if they don't have the money? Okay? Or wa gid sila kakuhaan lain. Okay, so that poses a problem. Okay, so sayang kayo imong gihaguan tapos di ramday mapadulong sa imong pamilya. Okay, so mapadungra na siya sa government. So one way of helping dili mahasol imong family na makuha imong properties is to get a life insurance. Okay? That's the only way. Okay? Because the life insurance is automatic na siya madawat sa beneficiary. And you will not pay estate tax for life insurance. Okay, that's the only asset, contingent asset nga dili siya taksan. Okay, because pag when say contingent asset, it depends upon the happening of some event, di ba? Ang ginabayaran natong estate tax are those considered assets, not the contingent assets. And life insurance falls under contingent asset. So mora na dali makuha sa imong beneficiary. Peace of mind, of course. Okay. So as I mentioned gaina, it's not only an emotional problem, but also poses a financial problem, okay, to your family. So para na kay peace of mind, whether basta ready ka anytime, mobiya, timba ko, you have a peace of mind already. At the same time, you're also giving peace of mind for your loved ones. That they can survive the financial situation even if you are not there. Okay? And savings. So there are insurance nowadays, life insurance nowadays nga kumbaga hybrid na. So you're not only paying for insurance but you're also paying for you're also investing. Okay? So naina na nga component ang mga insurance karon. Okay? So part of what you pay is for insurance and then the rest will be paid for investments or savings. So we have two types of life insurance in the Philippines. So the life insurance is defined by the period of their coverage. So it is the length of time that your policy starts and ends. So the first type or ang pinakabaratong life insurance is what we term as term insurance. Okay? So it will give you cover for a limited period of time, typically for 1 year or every 5 years. Okay? Na uban 1 year lang insured. Napay uban niya, especially pag micro life insurance, renewable every year. Pero ang mga term insurance nowadays, renewable sila after 5 years. Okay? So if you pay for now, for example, you are 20, so you will pay annually gihapon, pero mag-apply na po ka for another Kung mahuman na ang 5 years, apply na pug ka to get a new term insurance. Okay? Because at that time, bago naman imong situation, mas ni older na ka, perhaps lahi na imong situation, so muna siya nga mag-renew siya every 5 years. But it is only until the age of 70. When you reach the age of 70, you can no longer buy a term insurance. Okay? Mura po na ang limit niya. The second is what we call the permanent life insurance. So kani siya, it will cover you for the entire lifespan or until 100 years old. So whichever is shorter. Okay? So permanent insurance has a longer cover, therefore it costs more than the term insurance. So mas higher ang price at permanent insurance kaysa sa term because you are insured for your entire lifetime. Permanent life insurance has two types of permanent life insurance. The first one is called the whole life policy, and the second one, or the newest hybrid of life insurance, is called the variable universal life, or the VUL. Okay? So both of them will cover for one's lifetime, but the difference is their savings component. So, 'di ba, sa permanent life insurance, aside from the insurance, there's also a savings component. Okay? Sa whole life lang kay ang ginahatag, ang savings nga pasabot diri is in the form of dividends. Okay? So the insurance company, depende sa performance sa insurance company, so mag-share sila sa dividends. Okay? So na ang dividends, so for example, you buy an insurance of 1 million, tapos na siya savings component, so your beneficiary will actually get 1 million plus whatever is the savings. So for example, ang accumulate niya savings is 200,000. So 200,000 plus 1 million, mo na dawaton sa beneficiary. Okay? Variable universal life is a VUL, or investment linked policy. So sa imong gibayad nga premium, you are paying a part of that for the insurance, a part of that will be used to invest sa bonds, sa stocks, okay, and other investments. Okay? So ang amount nga makuha sa imong beneficiary is the insurance coverage, let's say 1 million. And then if your investment grow, so let's say nahimo siyang 1 million also, okay? Ang total nga makuha sa imong beneficiary is 2 million, okay? Sa VUL, ang nakanay sa VUL is that dili necessary nga kailangan mawala ka for you to benefit sa VUL, because other VULs can be used as retirement funds, okay? Actually, I'm purchasing a VUL for my additional retirement fund, okay? So pwede na siya gamiton for retirement fund or for the education of your children. Okay? Because of its investment component, so mo grow siya over time. Later on, I will show you what is kung unsay naa sa VUL, or what is an example of a VUL contract. So key features, so insurer is the insurance company. So the one who who promises to pay you when something happens. Insured is the person whose life the insurance covers. Policy is simply the contract between you and the insurer. So dili na siya about rules, ha. It is actually a contract. Okay? So that's another definition of a policy. So it's between you and the insurer. So it contains everything that concerns the product. So before you sign a policy contract, it is a must that you have to read and understand all the terms and conditions. Okay? So dili ka pwede mag-sign nga wa ka kasabot sa tanan. Okay? There's an advisor, so you ask. Policyholder is the person who owns the policy. Beneficiaries are the people who will receive the money after you've passed on. Sum insured is the amount of money that the insurer promises to give to the beneficiaries. Okay? So it is the amount of money that you will give to your beneficiaries. Premium is the amount of money you pay to the insurer so that the policy is enforced. So there's an obligation sa insurer nga mobayad, but only if you are actively paying the premium. So kung continuous ka gabayad og premium, then the policy is enforced. Period of coverage describes how long the policy is in effect. Okay? So, unsa man ni siya? Taman ba ni siya 70? Taman ba ni siya 100 years? Okay? Or taman ra 60? Okay? Riders, so riders are supplementary contracts. So they can be attached or removed from the main policy, adding more options on customizing your plan. So, ang mga life insurance karon, it also naapod na sila yung mga additional nga what we call as riders. So it's not only the life insured, but perhaps sa imong life insurance nga gipalit, there's a critical illness benefit. So if you are diagnosed with nga mga malala nga sakit, the insurance company will pay you. There is accidental insurance, no, in terms of accident or hospital income benefit. Okay? So mo na ang imong income replacement. So these are called riders. So you have the option whether to remove them or not. Okay? So pwede rag life insurance sa good siya. Wala siya kauban niya. We call them riders. So variable contracts. So VOL is an example of a variable contract. Okay? So it shall mean any policy or contract on either a group or on an individual basis issued by an insurance company providing the benefits or contractual payments. Okay? So in short, this is a hybrid na nga insurance contracts. So it's no longer insurance alone, but it can also be used as savings or for investments. Insurable interest, so who can be insured? Okay? So letter A, of himself, or pwede iyang spouse or his children. So even though you are the one paying for the insurance, pwede nimo i-insure imong spouse or even your children. Of any person on whom he depends wholly or in part for education or support, or in whom he has pecuniary interest. So even though it's not your spouse or children, but you are dependent on that person. For example, imong lola o lolo, dira ka nagdako, wala na kay parents, so they can be insured. Okay? Or kung kinsa to'y nagasto sa imo sa pag-eskwela, okay? Or kinsa imong ginasuportahan sa education, so pwede sila. Okay? Of any person under legal obligation to him for the payment of money or respecting property or services of which death or illness might delay or prevent the performance. So that is why kung magkuha kag balay, especially for 30 years nimo ginabayran, you are required to pay or you are required to get what we term as mortgage redemption insurance or MRI. Okay? Mortgage redemption insurance. So if makabalita mo kay Lloyd Cadena sa una, di ba na siya balay gipatukod, okay? And then there's a sudden death, okay? So wala nag-worry itong iyang gilonan is because si Lloyd Cadena naman siya MRI, okay? So kanang MRI or mortgage redemption insurance, mo na ang company nga mag-pay sa balance sa balay, okay? If a person died or if a person dies, okay, nga wala na tiwas og bayad ang loan sa balay. Of any person whose life, any estate or interest invested in him depends. So, ato, kinsa to'y magdawat sa iyang estate o sa iyang mana, so you can insure them. So, kanus ma-perfect or kanus mag-start ang contract, okay? So, when there's already an assent or consent manifested by the meeting of the offer and the acceptance upon the thing, okay? And the costs of which are to constitute the contract. So as long as there's already the signing of the policy contract, so that's already it's already an evidence nga the insurance contract is already perfected. Okay? So there should be an acceptance by both the insurer and the insured. So requisites in order that the insurer may rescind. So when you say rescind, you can cancel your life insurance anytime. Okay? So pwede na siya i-cancel especially kung dili na kaya bayaran. Okay? So what are the basis? So what are the reasons why you need to why we cancel the contract? Okay? So first, you have perhaps there's a breach of warranty, okay? Or there's a concealment or misrepresentation on the part of the insurance company. Okay? So that can be a ground for cancellation. Or perhaps you are no longer paying the premiums. That's on the second requisites. So the rescission must be coupled. So if you are no longer paying and then there's an investment component or savings component, if imo nang ipa-cancel imong life insurance contract, so unsa toy na accumulate nga savings or investment, kailangan to siya ibalik sa imuha. Okay? Kailangan to ihatag sa imuha. Third is the rescission must be exercised within 2 years that the insurance is in force during the lifetime of the insured. Okay? So dapat within 2 years ma-execute na ang cancellation as long as the person is still alive. Okay? Claims. Okay? So how to claim your set, how to get the proceeds. So the proceeds of a life insurance policy shall be paid immediately upon maturity of the policy. Okay? So in the case of VUL, so if you want to get it at 60 or 70, so the proceeds are pwede na nimo kwaon. Okay? So na proceeds nga isahan ra, so meaning lump sum siya nimo kwaon, napoy proceeds nga installment or annuity. Okay? So in which case the installments or annuity shall be paid as they become due. Okay? So that in the case of a policy maturing by the death of the insured, the proceeds thereof shall be paid within 60 days after presentation of the claim and filing of the proof of death of the insured. So if life insurance, what ang buhaton sa imong beneficiary is just to present the death certificate to the insurance company. And then they are required nga within 60 days dapat makuha na ang proceeds sa beneficiary. Refusal or failure to pay the claim within the time prescribed will entitle the beneficiary to collect the interest. So kung 60 days wala gyapon nakuha, you can already charge an interest based on the proceeds. Okay? So so the interest is given by the monetary board. Okay? So I think it's the BSP ni siya. Okay? BSP nga monetary board. Okay? So during the delay at the rate of twice the ceiling prescribed by the monetary board. So for example, if the monetary board sa BSP is charging 3%, okay? So ang interest will be double, okay? So that's 6%. So it is only of course if there's a delay in the payment. So muna itimanaan ninyo, 60 days dapat makuha na ang proceeds. Otherwise, magbayad og mas dako pa sa uh, sum insured. So sum insured plus interest. Okay, so I want to show you, I'm done with the slides. I want to show you an example of a contract. Okay, so I cannot show my client's insurance, of course, because that's confidential. What I can only show you is mine. Okay? So okay lang makaibalo mo, di man siguro mo Di man po mo beneficiary nako. Okay? But of course, ang beneficiary dapat makaibalo. Pero namang cases sa China, so anong confidential ang mga life insurance, nganong dili mi mag-picture sa among clients when they get an insurance is because nainitabo sa China nga gipang-adapt niya ang mga kanabit ang mga street people, okay, mga street persons, iyang giliguan, basta iyang hatagag maayo nga kinabuhi, okay? And then matingala sila kay nganong every year namang mamatay, okay? Sa katong mga street persons. Okay? Usually mag-hike kani mga street persons paadtuon sa bukid, mag-hike, and then suddenly na-report nga nahulog daw sa mountain pero tuwa dito kay kuan na gipatay. Okay? What's the purpose nganong gipatay? Because katong mga street persons nga iyang gipang-adapt are actually gikuhaan niyag insurance. Gipangkuhaan niyag life insurance. Nga panganlan siya as beneficiary. Okay? So you know the mindset of an evil person. Okay? So that is why as a protection dili mo dapat magsaba-saba sa laing tao that you buy an insurance. Okay? So it's confidential. So muna ang very grabe nga scheme, di ba? So these are of course, my coverage. So this is an example of a VUL or variable universal life. So I hope you can see that. So minimum lang sa akong gikuha. Because the purpose of this VUL is not really, ako yung gusto paliton is ang term because mas dako siya coverage tapos mas barato. Okay? But for this retirement fund, for example, I will only pay akong life insurance coverage is or akong Sun Life assured is 350,000. Okay? So nag-start ko pay atong 2018. So it is still active. Okay? So actually I will only pay this based on the contract. 10 years lang na ako ni siya dapat bayaran. Pero since this is my retirement fund, so I will pay more than that. More than 10 years. Okay? Para mas dako po akong retirement fund. Okay, so every quarter ko magbayad and this is my premium. Okay, that's per quarter. So actually on November next month magbayad na pud ko. Okay, so that's the premium kaninyo nakita nga price. Okay. Makita maklaro ba ninyo? Okay, so aside from the life insurance, I also have other muna ang ginatawag og riders. Okay? So you have the critical illness, so 350,000. So simba ko di na ko na siya dapat. Hopefully di na ko na siya makuha. O dili ko mag-claim. Hospital income, so this is your income replacement. So especially if these are for jobs nga kung wala kay trabaho, wala po kay sweldo, 'di ba? Kung daily, especially mga job order. So for me, if inana ang case, for example, so ma-hospitalize ko, let's say, actually last 2018 December, last December 2018, I got a dengue fever. So di man siya mahulog as critical illness, pero I can claim for the hospital income benefit. So kana 1,000, that's actually per day. So per day, so 1,000. So na-hospitalize ko, na-admit ko for 4 days. So na ako gi-claim kay Sun Life nga 4,000, okay? For my income replacement. Okay. So total disability benefit. So if I become disabled, so I'm no longer required to pay for example, wala pa ko naman og bayad, tapos na-disable, I am no longer required to pay. Okay? And then accidental death benefit is 350,000. Okay? So this is a VUL, so part of what I pay is mapadulong siya sa investment. Okay. Okay, so nakanindot man gud katong sa akong hospitalization. So as si Orios are giving naman pod may health insurance. So aside from PhilHealth, na may health insurance nga gina-provide sa FSUU. So imagine, so daghan tulo ka buok ang nigasto sa ako ang hospitalization, si PhilHealth, si health insurance, ug si Sun Life. So actually, itong 4,000, ako na to siya kay na fully paid naman ang hospitalization. So kanang 23 nga inyo nakita, that's actually mo nakita sa akong investment. Okay? So anytime nga akong kubrahon nun. Okay? So I can cancel this contract anytime, pero I don't want to because again, I will use WL as my retirement fund. Okay? So I'm glad nga niabot na ko ano 3 years in paying this contract. So 7 more years and I'm done, but I will still continue paying it para mas muda ko gid akong retirement fund. Okay? After that, kuan, I can just wait until age 60. Okay? Okay, so you can file a claim here, whatever is your kuan. Pwede ra siya online mag-file og claim or your beneficiary will go to the insurance company. Okay, so that's an example of a variable unit link investment. Okay, so still have few minutes so I can entertain some questions if you have. Okay, are there any questions you want to ask or want to clarify? Okay, so actually, I understand, yeah, you cannot relate to this, no, but actually, um, you will once you are in the age nga magtrabaho na mo, okay? You will understand why ano man yung mga adults nga mo man na ilang concern, okay? Yes, actually, ang insurance sa tulo ka topic sa semifinals, ang insurance lang ang appeal. Okay? And actually you have an assessment. So by next week, so wala matay klase sa Monday, and you can utilize the time to answer the assessment. Okay? So magkita ta sunod November 9 na for our last topic for semifinals. Pwede yes, may question si Angela. So it's actually a good question. So pwede ba nga makakuha og insurance ang below 18? So of course it's possible. Okay? Even mga months pa lang nga mga bata, pwede gani sila makakuha. However, nat ginatawag nga third party nga uh, kumbaga this is a three-way. So ang policy holder is different from the applicant. So meaning ang policy holder magud ang magbayad, tapos ang applicant is the children. So you can actually insure kung ikaw ang magbayad, um, for example, the breadwinner ang magbayad, so pwede nimo insure imong spouse, pwede nimo insure imong children. Okay? Even though wa pa sila kabot og tuig, pwede na nimo sila i-insure. But in your case, Angela, since you are still minor, pwede nga ipangalan, kung ikaw gyapon ang magbayad, pwede naman nga imong parents ang imong ipapangalan kibali. Okay? Pwede ra sila ang magkuha para sa imo, although ang magbayad ikaw, okay? So pwede ra inana. Si Giselle has a question. Good day. Ask lang ko if every month 'di ba magbayad? What if dili ka makabayad karon na month, mo double pay na ba next month or with interest? I'm not I am not oriented with other companies si policy nila, but sa Sun Life it's quarterly payment ang minimum. Okay? Quarterly payment. So you can advance your payment. So let's say you are done with the first quarter payment, pwede ka mag-monthly thereafter. Basta kay dili lang ka ma-abtan sa due date. So what will happen? So in the case of the policy ni Sun Life, kung di ka na kay wa ka kakuan sa deadline or sa due date, you still have a month. Okay? Na kay 1 month nga grace period to pay. Okay? Na kay 1 month grace period to pay. And then kung after the grace period, okay, we call that grace period, tapos VUL imong gikuha, ang pambayad is kuwaon dito sa imong katong nakita ninyo nga 23,000, okay, katong sa investment nga component, dito kuwaon ang bayad until such time nga mahurot, okay? Mahurot to siya. What if 20 na ko, sir? Pwede siya, but the problem ang good is kailangan na kay trabaho, okay? Kay si Insurance Monggod, ang Sun Life Monggod is also implementing the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Okay? So sa man ni Anti-Money Laundering Act. So making sure nga ang imong kwarta nga gihatag sa ila is not from dili verify, dili legit nga or dili clean nga source. Like for example, if you are not working, asam na nimo gikuha nga kwarta? Okay? Asam na nimo gikuha nga kwarta? So most likely sa parents, 'di ba? But if you are working, walay problema, okay? Walay work kung nakay work tapos you can afford, wala siya problema. Unsay pasabot, Giselle, unsay pasabot anang term na co-insurance? Okay, so I have to check first. Medyo co-insurance. Mm, co-insurance is kuan. Si tawag ni na insured. Or I think that's the kuanan na uh, um tayo nagkuha ka sa Sun Life, nagkuha po ka sa Manulife. So both of them is in na sila gi-insure nga one life which is the same. Okay, for example, it's your life. So both of them is kuan. Okay, okay, co-insured. Okay. So you're actually duha ka buok companies you are nga nag-insure sa imo ha. However, as life wala ko'y nabasa. Okay, so actually it happens sa kuan. Kana bitaw magpalit kag health insurance pod, di ba? Before you can buy a health insurance nga private, dapat insured sa ka sa PhilHealth. Okay? They cannot avail their health benefits unless mubayad una si PhilHealth. Okay? So in the case katong na dengue ko, for example, okay? So, 'di ba, tulo ka buok ang nagkuan sa ako, okay? So, ang una mo bayad ana gyud is ang PhilHealth, okay? So, whatever is the balance after sa gibayad ni PhilHealth, na i-balance, aya pa mo bayad ang katong private nga health insurance company, okay? So, mo na siya. I think that's the pasabot sa co-insurance, okay? So, there are two or more companies who are buying or who are paying for the loss or damage, okay? So, inana na ang patakaran sa mga health cards or mga health insurance companies. So, dili sila mo bayad unless dili ka insured by PhilHealth, okay? Or dili una didakan si PhilHealth. So, whatever is the balance, ikaw na ang aya pa mo bayad ang mga private nga mga health insurance. Okay, Giselle? How about the others? Do you have something to ask? Okay, so I guess wala naman siguro, no? Okay. Okay, so actually, as you can actually have a sideline sa kuan, okay? With your knowledge already about these things. So actually, you can have a part-time with kuan mga insurance companies. So some insurance companies dili necessary nga college graduate, okay? So you can become an agent, okay? So take the exam given by the insurance commission. So that's actually a profession, okay? All right, so if there are no more questions, so please take time to answer your assessments next week. So wala tayo meeting next week. So I will see you on November 9 for the mutual fund niya discussion. Okay? So yeah, the coverage is until insurance lang. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your participation. See you on November 9.